And hello there, our viewers. Welcome to today's news with me, your host Edna Kaindi, and this is my sign name. Today we have a lot of news making headlines in the country, so welcome to today's news updates. On to our first news. On to our first news update. We have Meru County leaders will devise strategies to deal with scores of women and children living with disabilities who have currently invaded Meru town streets, purporting to beg for handouts. Speaking at Kaga Primary School, Meru County during the celebrations to mark this year's International Day for Persons with Disability, Imenti North MP Rahim Dawood said it was depressing to see children as young as 3 years being driven in wheelchairs under the scorching sun or rain, only to be placed in strategic points so that they can beg for help. Children believed to be from the neighboring counties were being tortured, since this was not the best way to seek help for them. And away from that news update, relentless floods caused by the ongoing rains have wreaked havoc, leaving trails of destruction and despair in various parts of the country. So far, the rising waters have claimed 148 lives, displaced thousands from their homes, and inflicted severe damage on infrastructure, and is now among the counties on high alert due to the ongoing heavy rains. The government initiated relief food distribution in Garissa County, where Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua leading the effort, and over 451 million shillings worth of aid will reach over 119,000 people affected in 7 counties.
Hata kulala hatujalala, tunasikitika, hakuna msaada wote has from morning till now. Tumeitana Red Cross, mpaka saizi hatujaona msaada wote. So tunashindwa sisi kama wananchi tufanye nini? Mtoto ni wa 2 days ametolewa mchanga, amelowana. Hakuna msaada wote, tutafanya nini sisi?
Mambo kama haya sisi yanatuumiza sana. Maana tukiwa tuna viongozi, tuna shirika la msalaba ambao linazosaidia mambo kama na alisaidi chochote. Sisi wenyewe vijana ndo tumetoka tukaanza kusaidiana na vijana wenzetu.
Wao wanajaribu kukimbia kwa funerals. Kuna wale ambao ni wagonjwa wanataka kufika mahospitalini. Kuna wale wengine hata ni watalii wako na connecting flights, lakini hawawezi kupita kwa sababu ya yale mafuriko yaliyoko hapa. Kwa hivyo tunaiomba serikali ya Lamu, vile vile serikali ya Tana River, kuna jambo rahisi ambalo linaweza kufanyika hapa, kuleta maboti.
The money will be disbursed under the Hunger Safety Net program implemented by the National Drought Management Authority under the Ministry of East African Community Affairs and Regional Development. At least here in Garissa, 7,199 beneficiary households in this county will receive 58 million Kenya shillings.
Na mpango kubwa sasa ya kurestore infrastructure kwa hii northern part of the country, mpaka sehemu hii kuwe na barabara ambazo zinatosha.
And away from that news update, we have the High Court has temporarily suspended the sale of 11 state-owned companies, including the iconic Kenyatta International Convention Center, KICC, and the Crucial Kenya Pipeline Company (KPC). The move comes after a petition filed by Raila Odinga's Orange Democratic Movement Party, which adds that the privatization of these firms will be unconstitutional without a public referendum. Judge Chacha Mwita ruled that ODM's petition raised substantial constitutional and legal issues of public importance that require careful consideration by the court. The order the government to halt the sale of the parastatals until February 6, 2024, while the court examines the case.
It's going to be a long process that incorporates people's views, and even after that, it has to come to Parliament, it has to be approved by the people's representatives, we have to do public participation, and we have to do it within the law.
And on other news updates, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has urged Tana River Governor Dado Gohana to ditch the opposition and join the ruling Kenya Kwanza coalition. According to Deputy President Gachagua, the former Prime Minister has nothing to offer governors grappling with the El Nino rain's wrath. He asserted President William Ruto as a frontrunner for the second term in the 2027 and advised Gohana to join the winning side. The Deputy President slammed governors for prioritizing press conferences over assisting flood victims, accusing them of using the crisis for self-promotion.
Na sisi tunataka kusema serikali yetu imetoa magari ya jeshi, imetoa madege, imetoa mahelikopta kusaidia wananchi wasiumie. Juu ya hayo tumetoa madawa. Juu ya hayo serikali kuu tumenunua chakula. Na tunataka pia county gavana tushikane pia, tuweke chakula, tuweke madawa, tusaidiane hii kazi wakati hii ya kiangazi. Na mimi nafurahi tukiwa na rais amekubali kushikana na sisi kusongesha kazi. Yeye amesema hataki pande ile pale aliona iko giza, anataka pahali iko mwangaza, pahali serikali iko. Hata huyu gavana ni rafiki yangu, naendelea kumuongelesha atoke huko kwa giza akae kwa pahali iko mwangaza kwa barabara ya serikali. Mungetaka gavana ashikane na sisi? Mumesema mambo mingi mnataka. Hii mambo yote itaongelewa kwa meza ya serikali. Yule mzee hakuna maneno mnaweza ongea naye mambo ya kiangazi. Hata yeye anataka msaada anatutafuta. Sasa mwenye kutafuta msaada mnaweza enda kwake kubisha mlango amsaidie. Haya mashida ya Tana River Governor itatatuliwa kwa meza ya serikali. Na ukweli ya mahindi haikumea 2022 haikumea. Simubadilishe mweke maharagwe 2027. Si nyinyi ni watu mumeona mbele. Sasa ukiweka mahindi kila mwaka haimei, iko haja gani? Si unabadilisha?
Away from that news update, Mumias East MP. Mumias East Member of Parliament Peter Salasia on Monday surrendered to the Kakamega police station for questioning by the Directorate of Criminal Investigation. The lawmaker was wanted on suspicion of threatening to kill Kakamega magistrate Gladys Kiama, with DCI detectives launching a manhunt in connection with the allegations. The magistrate, Gladys Kiama, who presided over the small claim court, filed a report at the station claiming that the Member of Parliament had threatened her life. This was the result of her decision to compel Mr. Salasia to pay a debt of 50,000 Kenya shillings to a businessman, Robert Luther. Mr. Salasia was interrogated for 2 hours before being released on a police bail of 20,000 Kenya shillings on December 4th. Down to our final news update, the administrators of the estate of the late politician Gershon Kamau Kirima have dismissed reports that a blanket order of stay was issued by the court on their contested land. Through a statement issued on Monday, the administrators termed such reports on the late politician's land in Nairobi's Jiru and Embakasi areas false and misleading. He said that the court order on stay issued on November 22nd applied to 58 acres of land only. The court on October 23rd ruled that ownership of properties was beyond doubt and that they belonged to the estate of the late Gershon Kamau Kirima.
Not be here, and that the land belong to Kirima. And the constitution dictates that when you are not satisfied with the decision from the lower court, there is a window for appeal. And I think with the lawyers which were representing us, that is what they did. They went to appeal on this case.
Tuko na vikundi ya vijana karibu 30 wanafanya kazi kwa hii shamba. Hii shamba ndio inawalisha. Hawa wateja wote wamejenga manyumba huku. Sisi tunawategemea hawa wenye mnataka kubomolea hizi manyumba. Sisi ndio wanatulishaga.
The public interest of those children, of those followers of the church, of those students, of those pregnant mothers, of those vulnerable groups, the court listened to that.
For the cabinet secretary to come out in public and pronounce herself as if she is the court of appeal, that the decision that was made was final, and she has not even bothered to consider that the appeal will have an outcome.
I wanted to remind the cabinet secretary that as an officer of the state, to tell residents, or rather the people who live in our constituencies, that they are on their own is a very unfortunate statement. I want to remind her that even in our constitution, Article 21 provides that it is a fundamental duty of the state to uphold, respect, and fulfill the rights and fundamental freedoms of all the citizens of Kenya.
We have the orders, and we want to tell our people to be calm, do not panic. This is just but a storm in a cup of tea. Do not worry. I know at this particular moment there are so much butterflies in your stomach, and you may be thinking that there is no way out. But I want to assure you that we are with you. You elected us to fight for you.
Voices we are hearing on ground now is people feel intimidated. We have brokers going around now collecting money in a rush to try to come up with a deal in terms of settling with the Keremas.
And hello viewers, welcome to Science TV. I am your host Ben Rangai, and this is my sign name. My sign language interpreter doing the voicing, Asta Kendi. Welcome to the sports news. In the Talanta Hela Tournament's girls competition, Kisumu County embarrassed hosts Nairobi County in an 8-0 thrashing in the opening match of Group C on Monday. From the opening whistle, Kisumu displayed a fierce determination, dominating possession and creating numerous scoring opportunities. Nairobi, used to dictating the tempo on home staff, struggled to adjust to the visitors' aggressive press and slick passing.
In fact, when the game began, they were just like us, equal. They were equal to us. And we never expected that this game would go until this time when we could be able to score. But our players have been able to play a game of endurance. And that's where they have been able to score.
On other news updates, the Premier League has struck a massive new 6.7 billion euros television deal with Sky and TNT, which will see up to 270 games shown live each season. The deal covers the 4 years of 2025 to 2026 onwards. This is a great deal for Premier League and the fans, as it means that they will be able to watch more games than ever before, and it will also help to boost the league's finances. And that news update has brought us to the end of the news making headlines. Thank you for joining us here at Science TV. I have been your host Ben Rangai, and this is my sign name. The sign language interpreter who has been voicing Asta Kendi. Don't forget to leave a comment on our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on other media platforms. So goodbye and enjoy your evening.